Tonight on CTV3 News, motorcycle accident in Blue Creek claims the life of a 7-year-old Matthew Cran. He meets face-to-face with death after his brother, 12-year-old Isaiah Cran, collides into an SUV. Crime fighting mechanisms to be rolled out in Trial Farmer Village. Belma plan to utilize Orange Walk's manual paving strategy to upgrade streets. And we take you to Lamanai, where money has been earmarked for the conservation of the archaeological site. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, March 20th, 2023.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me. This is nice.
I think what really impressed him was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
Bring on the heat! Start up the gunfire! Weapon of death!
It's about a relationship that hopefully many people can relate to.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
This is our best chance to find a habitable planet.
You're shooting the bullet. You're catching it.
Arrakis is a death trap.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A 7-year-old boy is dead and his 12-year-old brother is injured following a tragic motorcycle accident in the community of Blue Creek in Orange Walk. The incident transpired around 8 a.m. on Sunday. 12-year-old Isaiah Cran was on the motorcycle with his brother, Matthew Cran, when they collided into an SUV being driven at the time by Susan Froese. Both minors were taken to the Northern Regional Hospital, NRH, where Matthew was pronounced dead on arrival, while Isaiah is listed in critical condition. Today, police press officer Fitzroy Earwood told the media what investigations have revealed so far.
Okay. I know that on Saturday, around 8 o'clock a.m., police responded to a scene where Isaiah Crane, 12 years, was driving a motorcycle, and he was accompanied at the time by Matthew Crane, 7 years. He collided into a Toyota 4Runner, driven at the time by Susan Froese. We know that the boys were transported to the Western Regional, to the hospital, where the 7-year-old succumbed to his injury, and Isaiah is listed in a critical condition.
Did they drift into the other lane or something?
Well, based on the information sent to us, it would want to suggest that they did.
And in this case where a 12-year-old is driving a motorcycle, can the parents be faced with any type of charges?
Well, we know that the investigators are looking at every angle when it comes to this accident. We know that in some of these Mennonite communities, for the purpose of work, their machineries are operated by minors at times, where the law goes to which extent the law goes when it comes to their usage of these machinery and equipment. We would really have to review and carefully go through the laws to see the offenses, if any, were committed by these minors. So it's a very difficult investigation, but as soon as I know more, you will know more.
What about the woman driving the vehicle? Was she served with any kind of NIP?
Well, that was not indicated to me. But whenever a traffic accident occurs, even if you are not deemed to be at fault, because you are the driver or operator of a vehicle involved in that incident, you will be served with notice of intended prosecution until your name has been ruled out as anybody liable or held accountable.
Tonight, 37-year-old Bart Allen, a resident of Trail Farm Village, Orange Walk District, remains in recovery after being shot 3 times on Wednesday night. As mentioned, Allen was fixing a tire on his vehicle, which was parked on Nightingale Street around 8:15 p.m. when 2 men dressed in full black traveling on a scooter rode up to him and fired several shots at his direction before making good their escape. For the Belize Police Department, Trail Farm Village is becoming a crime hotspot, and before officers lose control of the situation, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams will be traveling to Orange Walk tomorrow to meet with the new officer in charge of the police department. Both men will then move into the community of Trail Farm to hear the concerns of residents.
We know that no matter what our efforts may be, we will never be able to rid the country of crime. But certainly through good policing, as well as through a multi-sectoral approach to fighting crime, we can manage it to an acceptable level. And I think that the public would agree that over the past few months, we have been doing exceedingly well in terms of our crime fighting efforts. And again, like I said, it has a lot to do with good and effective policing, as well as the implementation of our multi-sectoral approach in fighting crime. The different community leaders in the different areas of Belize City are working diligently with the LIU in making sure that the different gang-ridden areas in Belize City are kept as calm as possible, and to be able to deal with and stem any feud that may emanate between the different groups. So that is what we're doing. But while we do manage Belize City, we're seeing a little pop-up here and there out districts. And so we're trying to see what we can do to address those, particularly in Orange Walk Town, where we're seeing the Trail Farm area is becoming a problematic area for us. I will be going to Orange Walk next week, Tuesday, and I will meet the OC there and his management team. And then we'll go into the community and see what are the expectations that they can do to help us to address the crime issue. I will appeal to the Oriental Appeal from now that my intention is to see if we can put a police substation in the Trail Farm area. I believe that area have grown tremendously, and the one central station at the location it is now is not sufficient to be able for the police to be able to effectively police Oriental Town. Yeah. So putting a substation in the Trail Farm area, I think, is a way to go now. In the first instance, and we might look at decentralizing to other areas eventually.
Allen was hit to the right hand, left hand, and to the left side of the chest. The Orange Walk Town Council today hosted Belmopan Mayor Sharon Palacio along with a team from the Belmopan City Council as part of the ongoing Sister City Relations initiative, which seeks to create lasting bonds between the leaders of all 9 municipalities across the country. Today's visit by Mayor Palacio and her team follows visits from other municipalities which have made the trip to experience firsthand the process of manual paving with the goal of adapting the process in their own community. The process of manually paving streets has been a practice followed for several years by the Orange Walk Town Council as an effective and budget-friendly way of upgrading the street infrastructure of our town. It started first under the leadership of Mayor Kevin Bernard. Currently, other municipalities, including Corozal and Dangriga, have adopted this practice, which Mayor Palacios says she now looks forward to implementing.
My wonderful brother Mayor here, he has been sharing about his experiences, all his experiences when it comes to what's required from us as mayors. People want their streets paved. And he shared about the methodology that he has in place. And actually we're overdue, but there's a time for everything. In Belmopan, we have a lot of street works pending, outstanding, and there's no money as usual, but where there's a will, there's a way. And Mayor Shepherd is showing that to us today, hands-on. We've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, and I am seeing for myself that, hey, it's doable. And everything to do it manually we have in Belmopan. So it's just a matter now to really and truly get serious and get it done. And find, if we have to owe people, we will owe, but paved streets our residents will be able to enjoy. And I want to congratulate my brother here, because a lot of times people hide their knowledge. He has been so kind. So here we are today.
If successful, Palacios says the residents of Belmopan will soon be able to benefit from upgraded streets in their town without the bloated costs associated with street paving and cementing.
Along with myself, I have my engineer along with the, call it the engineering team, and we're made up of 13 of us, 12 of us. And all these gentlemen, as you can see right behind me, they're working. And I'm happy to hear that one of them already learned the most difficult part, which is the, what's the name of it? Which is the throwing. The tar, yeah. And because they're not here as neophytes, they understand what needs to get done. But there are some technicalities that today made it very clear, and they're doing it already. So I can't wait to return home so we can get going.
Today's visit by Mayor Palacio, according to Orange Walk Mayor Ladrick Shepherd, marks a continuation of a long-lasting collaboration between Orange Walk and other municipalities.
I always said to myself, and I also said to Mayor Palazzo, is that when we find ways to work together, we can do more. She said a mouthful just a while ago by explaining to you that when we work with the ministers in the, as mayors, we can double the amount of work. And at the end of the day, when election time comes, we all want to dominate the polls when it comes to that. Work will speak for itself. Like I said, and when I mentioned it to them, this was we mentioned this in the mayor's meeting, and when we have many times, Naval mentioned to all the mayors, I'm willing enough to share what the knowledge of what Orange Walk has. We have adopted it to as well. Dangriga have jumped on it, Corozal have jumped on it, Nobel Mapon has jumped on it. There are other municipalities that would like to share this knowledge as well, if they can come to Orange Walk to see it firsthand. It's not like when you see the work firsthand, then you can see and grasp an idea. She bring her engineer as well too, so that he can see, he can do the work. He had an idea about it, but he didn't see exactly how it was being done. She said a mouthful again when you said one of her employees have learned how to throw. The most difficult part is the tar throwing. You master the tar throwing, from there your work is easier for you. And that's what we want to share. And I said I've always been willing to work with everybody, and Mayor Palazzo has always been that kind of nice person that's willing enough to come over and see what we're doing. So we're collaborating to get the work done. There is time for us to move, and this is time for us to get the job done for the residents. There in Belmopan and also here in Orange Walk, everybody will benefit.
Today's visit also included a tour of the town hall as well as different projects being carried out under the Orange Walk Town Council within town. Coming up next, a facelift for the Lamanai Mayan Temple. Stay tuned.
Indulge the flavor. Go beyond meat. Looks like meat. Tastes like meat. But it's better than meat. 100% plant-based. Rich in protein, 50% less saturated fat, no GMOs, no added soy, packed with benefits and sustainable. Beyond meat, good for you, good for the environment. Now available in 6 different types of products in Belize. Beyond burger, beyond sausage, beyond beef, beyond chicken nuggets, beyond chicken tenders, beyond steak, beyond meat, distributed by United Distributors Limited.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
¡Soy! ¡Por fin soy!
A rodar.
¡Sí, señor!
¡Esto va a estar bueno!
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
The Lamanai archaeological site is the largest here in the Orange Walk district, which has for many years been one of the main tourism attractions in the north. In recent years, however, the Mayan temple has seen major deterioration, which has threatened its very existence. On Friday, the Institute of Archaeology, in partnership with the U.S. Embassy, launched a project valued $177,000 for the conservation and preservation of the site. The project is being funded through the U.S. Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation. This project, according to U.S. Ambassador Michelle Kwan, represents the single largest investment made by any of our predecessors to Belize in cultural preservation.
I am so proud to be involved. The U.S. Embassy is supporting through niche this important Mayan site. The Ambassador's Fund for Culture and Preservation has provided $177,000 to make sure that the next 3,000 years future Belizeans will be able to be here and enjoy all the wonders of Lamanai. So the magnitude of the fund is 3 times larger than any of the Ambassador Fund's cultural preservation. So I am so thrilled first to arrive here a few months in and to be the one being able to participate in this fund and being able to hand it over to Nietzsche. And for the everyday work that's being done to preserve the amazing history, the cultural heritage of this country.
The project encompasses major restoration and conservation in areas of the High Temple, the Ball Court, and the Mass Temple. Beyond the restoration efforts, Minister of Culture Honorable Francis Fonseca says the project seeks to engage neighboring communities.
We've been working on this specific project for more than a year, so we're very, very pleased that we're finally able to launch it today, obviously with the great support of the U.S. Ambassador through her Cultural Preservation Fund. And what's beautiful about this project is that it involves the community, the Indian church community and the surrounding communities. We're working with the local women's groups around here. All of the laborers, all of the workers on this project are from the surrounding community. These beautiful, magnificent, majestic archaeological sites that we have across the country have to belong to the people. People have to have a sense of ownership of these sites. And so I think that's critically important for us. As you rightly said, we've been having some issues here because of the fragility of the entrance and the steps. So this project will fix that and restore Lamanai to its magnificence. And once again, we'll be able to have tourists go up, but of course we won't allow them to go up the steps. They'll have to use the alternative steps that we've created on the side. So those are being fixed and restructured. So it's a great project all around. Our cultural heritage and history is vitally important for us as Belizeans, for our national identity. But as you all know, it's a very important part of our tourism product as well. Lamanai is one of the most sought after sites, the biggest attractions. I think it's ranked third among our archaeological sites in terms of attraction. So it brings in revenue to the National Institute for Culture and History, brings in revenue and foreign exchange to the country. So it's very, very important. Providing jobs to the community, jobs to tour guides, very important project.
On March 3rd, the project is expected to conclude by the end of 2023. On March 3rd, 2023, Belize joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Wildlife Day. This year, the day was celebrated under the theme Partnerships for Wildlife Conservation, which focuses on the need to work across governments, civil society, and the private sector to turn commitment into action. World Wildlife Day celebrates the world's wild animals and plants and the contribution that they make to our lives and the health of the planet. In commemoration of World Wildlife Day and to mark the occasion, Honorable Orlando Habet, the Minister responsible for wildlife, formalized today our commitment with our partners by signing Memorandum of Understanding with 9 wildlife rehabilitation centers operating in Belize. These are ACES Wildlife Rescue, Belize Bird Rescue, Belize Raptor Center, Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic, the Belize Zoo, Crocodile Research Coalition, Eco Iguana Corner Foundation, Green Iguana Conservation Project, and Wild Tracks. We recognize and thank our partners who have pledged their commitment to conserve, rescue, rehabilitate, release, and rewild our wildlife species. Their commitment extends to community outreach and education to promote conservation of wild habitats and wildlife, with the goal of reduce and resolve incidents of human-wildlife conflict. The Forest Department also awarded one of its rehabilitation partners for their outstanding contribution to wildlife conservation and rehabilitation. This year, the Forest Department recognized Wild Tracks for its outstanding contribution to wildlife conservation and rehabilitation. Since its inception in 1990, as a part of its commitment to ending the illegal trade of primates, Wild Tracks has responded to numerous wildlife emergencies, rehabilitated 166 primates, and returned over 95 primates back to the wild. The Forest Department continues to support all national efforts to protect and manage wildlife into the future. As human populations grow, people and wildlife increasingly interact and compete for resources, which often leads to human-wildlife conflict. Throughout the years, the Forest Department, in collaboration with its local partners, has responded to such conflict, including problem jaguars, illegal hunting and poaching of parrots and other game species, and the relocation of problem animals such as crocodiles, raccoons, and owls. The department encourages the public to be guardians of our wildlife and to do our part to preserve natural habitats and forge a closer relationship with nature. One of the main platforms of the Bressani administration since being elected in 2020 has been the institution of free education for Belizean children across the country. At this time, 4 high schools in Belize City are benefiting from the Ministry of Education's free education program. During his budget speech 2 weeks ago, Prime Minister John Briceño announced that students in the Toledo and the Stann Creek districts will soon see the free education program come to their schools. That rollout, according to Minister of Education Honorable Francis Fonseca, is expected to be implemented very soon.
Being extended to southern Belize, yeah, we have the 4 government schools on the south side of Belize City. So we're expanding that program on the south side. We're going to expand that program on the south side. But we are also expanding it to the south of Belize. So 2 schools in Toledo and 2 schools in Stann Creek to start with. So, we're very, very excited about this initiative. It's a slow process, but it's an important process. The results from the pilot we've had on the south side of Belize City, we're absolutely pleased with the results. Obviously, we want to continue to do more, but we have been able to keep these students in school. We've been able to enroll an additional, I think, 200 students who are not in school previously into these 4 institutions. And we're going to continue to work on that. So it's critically important, as I always say, it's a comprehensive program. So it's easy to just talk about free education. It's much more than that. It's not just about tuition. Some people get confused about that. It's also about a feeding program. It's about school supplies. It's about digital devices. It's about uniforms. It's about shoes and tennis. So it's a comprehensive approach to education. So I'm very proud of that program, and I'm very proud that we have the full support of the government, the cabinet, to expand it to the south. And of course, we're in year 2. We have 3 years to go in government. We'll continue to expand this project each and every year.
The additional rollout of the free education program, as well as many other projects earmarked under the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology, has placed that ministry as having the 2nd highest projected spending in the 2023 General Revenue Appropriation Bill. This, according to Minister Fonseca, goes to show this government's commitment to education and the youth of our country.
It's a reflection of the rollout of this program, but also a number of other projects that we're undertaking and getting ready for in special areas like special education, early childhood education, technical and vocational education and training. So we have specific projects that we're going to be launching in this year's budget. So all of that is reflected in the increase that you see. Because those are priority areas for us. We have to focus on them. So there are specific projects that we are getting support from the IDB, the CDB, the MCC, the Millennium Challenge Corporation. All of those things we have to be prepared for. And so we're getting ready for all of those projects. We're obviously very grateful, as I said, to the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Finance, the Cabinet, for their solid, strong, unwavering support to education. I think I can tell you, in Cabinet, all of my colleagues understand and appreciate the critical importance of investing in education. Whether you're talking about national security issues, fighting crime, when you're talking about human development, fighting poverty, training our people for investments, for competing, skills training, getting our people prepared to participate in economic development. Everybody recognizes that we need to invest in our people. Education is the key to lifting our country out of, and lifting people out of poverty. But it's the key to growth and development. So we're very, very pleased, as you said. Education continues to get majority share after the Ministry of Finance of the budget. And it's an absolute reflection of the priority our administration places on education.
And while the ministry works towards extending free education across the country, They're also undertaking the second phase of the new curriculum project. The first phase was implemented in primary schools and are now looking to have it rolled out in high schools next.
As you know, we roll it out at the primary school level. So what we're doing now is having a round of consultations to discuss the secondary school curriculum. It's been fairly positive. I mean, like with any change, of course, there are challenges. But we have, I think now, over 100 schools who are using the new primary school curriculum. It's more than 100, but and so the feedback has been really good. I think they're they're grasping the importance of project-based learning, competency learning. Obviously, it takes some time to a shift in their approach to teaching and learning. But I think we've been giving them very good support. We've always said it's a transition year, so it's a pilot year. So at the end of the year, we'll learn a lot more based on the results of our analysis of what takes place. And therefore, we'll be able to make whatever adjustments are necessary for the new school year.
Over $97 million has been allocated towards the Ministry of Home Affairs in the budget for the 2023 fiscal year. In addition, monies have been allocated for the recruitment of 250 police officers. But is that enough to fight crime? Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says while an exact quantity of money to continue the battle against crime cannot be calculated, government's allocation of more than $90 million into the ministry speaks volumes.
We do understand the constraint of the government and the fact that it is not just the police department that the government needs to finance. But yes, I am grateful that the Prime Minister and his cabinet saw the need to give police some urgency, and with that we're seeing an increase in budget. Yes, it is not all that we want, but certainly it is almost what we want. And as managers, we just need to ensure that we curtail our spendings to the extent that we can, because there are certain things that we will not be able to curtail, to ensure that there is no shortfall in our spendings. And again, when it comes to police activities, there are certain things that we cannot plan. You know that we do have program budgeting, but there are certain things we cannot plan, so there's no programming for that. And when those things manifest themselves, then we have to find the funds to police them. Like, for example, if there's a demonstration, maybe the sugarcane farmers are aggrieved over some issue, maybe the public services are aggrieved over some issue. There may be a spike in crime in certain areas that we have to move in and do things to mobilize, to get things done. Those are things we cannot make protection for. And so, certainly when those things come up, we might just need to apply to the government for supplementary to be able to fill those gaps as they may come along.
So the last thing when you...
And that's news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, March 21st here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.